Hello, Beanstalk Nation. Welcome to episode 2 of Jack and the Beanstalk. I am Jack Sanders, along with my trusty partner, Jack Grapejuice Welch. Now, Beanstalk Nation, I'm sure you, along with us, last week, if you were listening to the podcast, as I'm sure you were disappointed that we were not able to get to BS in the News, as well as take a call from a very lucky caller. The reason for that was our producer, Greg. Now, Greg was given to us by the studio who signed on to produce this podcast. Now, Greg, as many of you guys are going to realize, doesn't know the first thing about podcasting. He couldn't tell you a good podcast from a bad one. And so when he's thrown into the fire and he's the one making the decisions for us, you can understand that the creative people in the room get frustrated. And so, Beanstalk Nation, we're going to do everything we can to make sure that this podcast is fun and filled with excitement for you guys, which means that we're going to have as little Greg as possible on the podcast. With that, Beanstalk Nation, we're going to do the segment that we couldn't do last week, BS in the News. We're going to take a call from one of our listeners. We're going to have a celebrity interview, our very first, with Toronto's own Sum 41. We're going to have a top 5 and much, much more. Please stay tuned.
With the hot mommy screaming. Every time I come to town, they be spotting me. In the drop Bentley, ain't no stopping me. So cash in your dough and flow to this fashion show. Pound for pound, anywhere you go. Yo, ain't no city in the world like this. And if you ask how I know, I got to plead the fed.
The Beanstalk.
Alright, Beanstalk Nation, this is Grapejuice Welch with you here. And now it is time for something we like to call BS in the News. Jack, I don't know if you've heard about this Caitlyn Jenner stuff, but it's been making a big splash.
I have heard about it. I don't know much about it, but I've heard about it. It's on every cover of every magazine that I see in the supermarket.
Exactly. So we're gonna maybe talk a bit ourselves about it, but we want to hear from the callers first.
Absolutely.
And we want your guys' input, and we'd like to hear some stuff. What do you guys think?
We just. It's a weird thing, isn't it, Jack? I mean, to wrap your head around it. I mean, I don't want to sound insensitive or naive or anything, but, I certainly have my fair share of questions. The first is, Bruce, as Caitlyn was formerly known, was an Olympic athlete.
Yeah, great one.
So now suppose she wants to compete in the Olympics again. Suppose she pulls a Brett Favre, wants to get back in the ring.
Yeah.
What does she compete as a man, or does she compete as a woman? I mean, it's a tough thing. It's a weird thing to wrap your head around. The other question, she has 2 kids with the other Kris Jenner, and those 2 kids now, do they have 2 moms, or do they have 1 mom? And please, if you are out there and you're listening and you have information for us, please call in. I mean, we're loaded with these kind of questions. Canada, of course, is a very gay-friendly country.
Yeah, of course.
But, could she, in the States especially, there are some states that don't allow gay marriage. I mean, who could she legally marry if she moved to one of those states? I don't know. I mean, please, Beanstalk Nation, if any of you have any answers to these questions, please call in. We are lost. Believe me, Jack and I are progressive people, but we are lost on this one. We don't know how to wrap our heads around it. Please call in if possible. Jack, I think we got our very first caller.
Yeah, let's go to him. Here we got Todd from Manitoba. Todd?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. Long-time listener, big fan. Just want to say, why does anybody care about this crap? It's like, who cares, like why, ESPN, NPR, respected well, I guess NPR is not very respected. Anyway, these places, what are they doing? Just wasting their time covering this bull crap.
Okay, fantastic, Todd. Thank you so much
Thanks,
for your input. Let's see. Do we have any other callers on the docket? Greg? Sorry, audience. We're going to have to get Greg in here. Greg, do we have any other callers?
Line 3.
All right, Devin. Devin is on the phone on line 3. Devin, you're on the podcast.
Hi, Jack. Big fans of both of you. All I have to say is the fact that we're still having this conversation, and I am a transgender woman myself, the fact that we're having this conversation in 2019 2015 is just beyond me. And I'm going to be honest, I was really hoping that you two were going to be better than that. And one last thing, as far as I'm concerned, Caitlyn Jenner can marry whoever she wants. This is Canada, this is 2015, love is love. I love you, Jack and Jack. Please keep the podcast going. Okay, thanks for having me on.
Wonderful. Wow, that was very, very informative. Thank you so much, Devin. I don't know about you, Jack, but that actually cleared up a lot for me. In any case, Beanstalk Nation, we recommend that you do your own research on the subject should you care to do so. But when we come back, we're going to do our very first celebrity interview with Toronto's own Sum 41. Stay tuned, Beanstalk Nation.
Okay, welcome back, Beanstalk Nation. It is our distinct pleasure to announce a big hot band coming up from Toronto. These guys, you know, if you like punk, they're your guys. If you like rock, they're your guys. They really do it all. This is Sum 41.
So, Sum 41, how does it feel to be on Jack and the Beanstalk?
It's great.
Great. Now, next question. You've said that you are huge fans of Oblivion Beach, particularly their album Steroids and Gay Jokes. You've also said that you're a huge fan of the Treehouse EP. Can you talk about what it was like to meet them?
And tour with them, of course.
A lot of these bands we tour with, like, we're all fans of, like, for years. So it's really cool to go out and tour with them and meet them.
Awesome. Now, we, of course, handle the majority of your money as bond traders, and you are legally required to be here because of some legal wording that we used. But I read in the paper recently that you have forgiven us. Do you want to talk about that more?
I haven't heard that at all. What are you pulling out your ass, pal?
Haha, too good.
So a lot of people say that you guys sound a lot like Blink-182, one of my personal favorite bands. What would you say about that?
Yeah, I like First Date. That's a good one.
They just say, they don't really like having the creative to say about it, so they just think the easiest way is just to say, hey, it sounds like Blink, instead of like thinking of something creative to say about it.
You know, a creative way to say that we don't sound like Blink.
Just like,
Jack, can you think of anything creative to say?
They're getting kind of mad.
Okay, so Jack and I are going to do a quick commercial, and when we come back, the second half of our interview with Sum 41.
Motivation, such an aggravation. Accusations, don't know how to take them. Inspirations, getting hard to fake it. Concentration, never run a break it. Situation, never
Hey there, Beanstalk Nation. Are you caught between a sneeze and a runny nose this allergy season? Well then, boy, do I have the perfect medicine for you. Waldrill from Walgreens. It temporarily relieves your runny nose, sneezing, itchy, watery eyes, itching of the nose and throat, and sometimes the common cold. Waldrill comes in packs of 12, 24, and 48, so no matter how severe your allergies are this allergy season, Waldrill's got a pill for you.
They want the B.I.G. Oh God. I tell a bad do whatever I say. My block behind me like I'm coming out the drum.
And we're back with the second half of our interview with Sum 41, Toronto's own.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a band are you guys?
21.
Wow, well, you heard it here first.
21 in the States.
There's a weird, like, thing that happens once you cross the border.
Yeah, it certainly feels like everyone's just a little better down in the States. So, as like an amateur musician myself, I've always wondered, how do you guys make such good music?
It's really, it's you know, it's hard for, like, people that aren't in music to understand or even comprehend. It's something, you know, it's got to do with, like, the alignment of the planets and, you know, the world spinning and stuff like that. But, you know, when we're in the States, we're 21, yeah.
Okay, now that is just so freaking cool.
caught up in your life. Excuses are so lame. You may be different, but I'm still the same. The reasons that you thought, the attention that you caught.
Okay, Beanstalk Nation, we don't have much time, but we're going to do one quick top 5 before we say goodbye to you till tomorrow. Jack, do you have the topic for our top 5 today?
Yeah, Jack, but before that, I just want to say that today's top 5 is sponsored by Sour Patch Kids. Sour Patch Kids. Sour, then sweet. Now with blue. Okay, today's top 5 topic, Jack. Top 5 ways to apologize to your girlfriend.
Ooh, comes in handy.
That's right, we've all been there.
Well, why don't you kick it off, Jack?
All right, number 5. Bring her chocolate and make sure not to eat all of it yourself.
Oh. Number 4. Try and figure out what the heck you even did and then apologize for that.
Ooh, boy, I've been there.
Number 3, Jack.
Yeah, number 3 way to apologize to your girlfriend. Take her to see that new Dwayne Johnson movie.
Ooh, a lot of action.
Yeah, she'll love it. I sure did. All right, number 2, Jack?
Number 2 on ways to apologize to your girlfriend. Pick up some dandelions before you come into the house.
Oh, yeah, get a nice bouquet going there.
2 birds with 1 stone.
That's right. Okay, the number 1 way to apologize to your girlfriend. Get her a subscription to Beanstalk.com. At only $9.99 per month, this subscription gives you access to over 50 hours of bonus content that's so good, she can't help but forgive you.
And that's our top 5. Thank you so much, Beanstalk Nation, for joining us. We're going to play you out with a song from the Treehouse EP. We'll catch you next week. And remember, depending on what country you're listening from, good morning, good afternoon, or good night. See you tomorrow, Beanstalk Nation.
See you tomorrow.
Sitting there, watching the telly, feeling real bloody lonely. Just flipped to a game of footy, but all I can think about is you and me. I can't believe you split up with me, and only a few days before our anniversary. I'm right miffed about what you did, and I'll give you my thoughts if you give me a quid.
Look, love, I can't believe you'd throw me to the streets. And now me flatmate Steve will phone you in a week.
I know it really cocked up this time, but the truth is, no, I'm not fine. I know now and then I can act like a prat, but you don't need to go dumping me and all that. It's rubbish, this feeling I got in my heart, so please come back and we'll get a fresh start. At the very least you could answer me calls, cause I want you to know I gave it me all.
Love, I can't believe you'd throw me to the streets. And now me flatmate Steve will phone you in a week. Hey Joan, this is Steve calling from Stoke. I know Tom's coughed up, but he's a right good bloke. I've shared a flat with him for almost a year, and whenever I need him, he's always here. It can be a bit romantic like if you give him a chance. Remember in Weston when he asked you to dance? Anyway, truth is he doesn't know I've called, but give him another go or I'll be appalled. Look Joan, you must respond, 'cause you're all I want. Me flatmate Steve has called you twice, and you've ignored 'cause you're not nice. You've ignored 'cause you're not nice. You've ignored 'cause you're